Gunther just declared war on Brock Lesnar, and the wrestling world is shaking. The ring general has set his sights on ending the Beast Incarnate's career, and what he just said will blow your mind. Stay tuned because this is about to get insane. What's up, Suplex Rumble family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest stories, the most shocking moments, and the epic battles in professional wrestling. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell because you do not want to miss what's coming next. Today, we're diving into why Gunther has his crosshairs locked on Brock Lesnar, and why John Cena's retirement announcement has everything to do with it. Let's set the stage, Rumble Nation. John Cena, the face of WWE for 2 decades, the 16-time world champion, the man who defined an entire era, has announced his retirement tour. This isn't a rumor, this isn't speculation, this is real. Cena is hanging up his boots, and the wrestling landscape is about to change forever. Now, when a legend like John Cena announces retirement, it sends shockwaves through every locker room. Superstars start thinking about legacy, about what they've accomplished, and about what they still want to achieve before their time is up. But here's where it gets interesting, folks. While most wrestlers were posting tributes and sharing memories, Gunther did something completely different. The ring general, the longest-reigning Intercontinental Champion in decades, looked at Cena's announcement and saw something else entirely. He saw opportunity in a recent interview that's now going viral across social media. Gunther made a statement that has every wrestling fan talking. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if Cena can recognize when it's time to step away, then maybe other part-timers should take note. He didn't drop names immediately, but everyone in that room knew exactly who he was talking about. And just days later, he confirmed that Brock Lesnar is next on his hit list. But why? Why would Gunther, at the peak of his powers, call out arguably the most dangerous competitor in WWE history? Stay with me, because this rabbit hole goes deep. To understand why Gunther is going after Lesnar, we need to understand who Gunther is and what drives him. This isn't some random call-out for attention, folks. This is calculated, strategic, and completely in character for the ring general. Gunther represents old-school wrestling values in a modern era. He believes in dominance. He believes in showing up every single week and proving you're the best. He believes that championships aren't props, they're symbols of supremacy that must be defended with honor and violence. Look at his Intercontinental Championship reign. 666 days of absolute brutality. He didn't defend the title once a month against hand-picked opponents. He fought everyone who stepped up. Legends, rising stars, fan favorites, it didn't matter. The ring general walked into every arena ready for war. And here's the key to understanding his mindset. Gunther despises part-time wrestlers. He's made this clear in multiple interviews. To him, wrestling isn't a part-time gig you show up for when you feel like it. It's a commitment, a lifestyle, a calling. Now think about Brock Lesnar's schedule. The Beast Incarnate is undeniably one of the most talented athletes ever to step in a wrestling ring. His accomplishments speak for themselves: multiple world championships, Royal Rumble victories, WrestleMania main events, UFC heavyweight champion. The man is a freak of nature. But here's what drives Gunther crazy. Lesnar appears a handful of times a year, collects a massive paycheck, destroys whoever is put in front of him, and then disappears for months. Meanwhile, Gunther and other full-time wrestlers are grinding week after week, city after city, building the brand and carrying the company on their backs. Gunther sees this as disrespectful. Not just to him, but to the entire locker room, to the industry, and to the fans who buy tickets expecting to see the biggest stars. And with Cena's retirement announcement, Gunther saw the perfect moment to draw a line in the sand. So let's talk about how John Cena's farewell tour connects to all of this, because this is where the story gets really interesting. John Cena announced he's retiring, but here's the thing: Cena went about it the right way, at least in Gunther's eyes. Despite being a Hollywood megastar who could easily coast on part-time appearances, Cena announced a full farewell tour. He's committing to multiple events, giving back to the fans, and going out on his own terms while still performing at a high level. Gunther respects that. He may not say it publicly, but there's a level of honor in how Cena is handling his exit. Cena isn't just showing up for WrestleMania paychecks, he's giving the business and the fans a proper goodbye. This creates the perfect contrast with Brock Lesnar. While Cena is demonstrating commitment even in retirement, Lesnar continues his sporadic appearances with no end in sight. And this is what set Gunther off. Think about the message Gunther is sending: if you're not going to commit to being here full-time, then get out. Make room for the wrestlers who show up every single week, who bleed for this business, who actually care about carrying this company forward. It's a bold stance, but it resonates with a lot of wrestlers in that locker room who feel the same way but don't have the clout to say it publicly. Gunther has the credibility, the championship history, and the respect to make this statement, and he's going for it. But there's another layer to this, Rumble Nation. Gunther isn't just calling out Lesnar on principle, he legitimately believes he can beat him. And honestly, after watching Gunther's reign of terror, after seeing him chop through opponent after opponent, can we really doubt him? The ring general has defeated every style of wrestler imaginable. High flyers? Chopped down. Brawlers? Outpowered. Technical masters? Out-wrestled. He's proven he can adapt to any opponent and find a way to win. So when he looks at Brock Lesnar, He doesn't see an unstoppable beast, he sees another challenger to be conquered. Now let's flip the script and talk about this from Brock Lesnar's perspective, because the beast incarnate isn't someone you just call out without consequences. Brock Lesnar has built a career on being the final boss of professional wrestling. He's the guy you face when you've beaten everyone else. He's ended legendary careers, dominated WrestleMania, and terrorized the entire roster for over 2 decades. When Lesnar shows up, people get F5D through announce tables. Championship reigns end. Records get broken. He's not called the Beast Incarnate because he's easy to beat. He's earned that nickname through pure dominance and physical superiority. But here's where things get spicy. Lesnar hasn't responded to Gunther's callout yet, and that silence is deafening. Is Lesnar ignoring Gunther because he doesn't see him as a threat? Is he playing mind games? Or is something bigger being planned behind the scenes? The wrestling world is desperate for answers. What we do know is this: if Brock Lesnar accepts this challenge, we're looking at a potential dream match. Think about the contrast in styles. Gunther brings old-school European brutality, devastating chops, technical precision, and an iron will that's been forged through hundreds of matches. He's a submission specialist who can also knock you out with a single strike. Lesnar brings raw athletic supremacy, amateur wrestling credentials, explosive suplexes, and that terrifying F5 that's ended countless careers. He's a genetic freak who can ragdoll heavyweights like they're cruiserweights. It's the ring general versus the beast incarnate. European strong style versus American powerhouse. Full-time warrior versus part-time destroyer. This is the kind of match that could headline WrestleMania. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here, Rumble Nation, because this storyline represents something much larger than just 2 wrestlers calling each other out. This is about the evolution of professional wrestling. We're watching a generational shift happen in real time. John Cena's retirement symbolizes the end of an era, the ruthless aggression era, the rise of WWE's global expansion, the PG era that brought wrestling to mainstream acceptance. Cena carried the company through some of its most challenging and successful years. Now, with Cena stepping away, the question becomes, who leads WWE into the next decade? Roman Reigns is already established as the tribal chief and top champion, but there's room for multiple main event players, multiple faces of the company, and Gunther is positioning himself to be one of those guys. By calling out Lesnar, by challenging the part-time paradigm, Gunther is making a statement that he's ready to be the workhorse at the top of the card. He's saying, give me the ball, and I'll carry it every single week. This also puts pressure on WWE management. Do they protect their special attraction in Brock Lesnar? Or do they pull the trigger on Gunther and bet on the future? It's a fascinating creative dilemma, and let's talk about the fan reaction. Wrestling fans are split on this issue. Some fans love the special feeling when Lesnar's music hits and he comes down to wreak havoc. Others are tired of part-timers taking spots from full-time wrestlers who grind all year long. Gunther is tapping into that second group's frustration, and he's doing it brilliantly. He's positioning himself as the people's champion, not in the Rock sense, but as the champion who represents the hard-working, show-up-everyday mentality that real fans appreciate. If WWE books this match correctly, it could be one of the defining moments of 2025. Imagine WrestleMania, packed stadium, Gunther versus Lesnar, winner take all. The atmosphere would be electric. Alright, Rumble Nation, let's bring this home with some predictions and final thoughts. First, I absolutely believe this match is going to happen. WWE would be crazy not to capitalize on this buzz. The story writes itself, the fan interest is through the roof, and both guys can deliver an absolute classic in the ring. Here's how I think it plays out. Lesnar will eventually respond, probably by showing up unannounced and giving Gunther a taste of the F5. This will set up a match at a major premium live event. My money is on either the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. As for who wins, this is tough, because both outcomes are compelling. If Gunther wins, it solidifies him as the next big thing and sends a message that the full-time era is here. If Lesnar wins, it maintains his aura as an unstoppable force and sets up an even bigger revenge story for Gunther down the line. My gut says Gunther should win, but it'll be a war. We're talking a 30-minute brutal, hard-hitting contest that leaves both men battered and broken. Lesnar will hit multiple F5s, Gunther will chop Lesnar's chest into hamburger meat, and it'll come down to who wants it more. But here's the real winner: the fans. We're getting dream matches, compelling storylines, and wrestlers who actually care about their legacy. This is what professional wrestling is all about. The fact that John Cena's retirement announcement sparked this entire chain of events shows how interconnected wrestling storylines can be. One legend leaving creates opportunities for the next generation to step up. It's beautiful, poetic, and exactly why we love this business. So what do you think, Rumble Nation? Should Gunther retire Brock Lesnar? Can the ring general actually beat the beast incarnate? And is this the main event of WrestleMania? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Subscribe to Suplex Rumble for more wrestling analysis, news, and fantasy booking. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when we drop a new video. And remember, Rumble Nation, in this business, anything can happen, and that's what makes it the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. I'm out. Stay awesome, keep watching wrestling, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Show channel subscribe button, suggested videos, and social media handles. Why did Gunther call out Brock Lesnar after John Cena announced his retirement? In this deep dive, we explore the Ring General's challenge to the Beast Incarnate and what it means for WWE's future. Gunther's shocking statement about Brock Lesnar. How John Cena's retirement connects to this storyline. The part-timer debate in modern wrestling. Dream match predictions and analysis. What this means for WWE's next era. Subscribe for wrestling news, analysis, and breakdowns. Hashtag WWE, hashtag Gunther, hashtag Brock Lesnar, hashtag John Cena, hashtag wrestling, hashtag WrestleMania, hashtag Suplex Rumble. Use dynamic background music, royalty-free, high energy. Include on-screen text for key quotes and statistics. Use wrestling-themed graphics and transitions. Display social media handles and subscribe reminders throughout. Add relevant, non-copyrighted images when discussing wrestlers. Include chapter markers for each segment. End with call-to-action graphics and next video suggestions.